What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I brought in DJ the Money Coach on today's show. And you may have seen the title and go, whoa, Erica, kind of heavy. Yeah, kind of heavy. We got to go there. Pretty much word on the street is we're not getting the fourth stimulus. And that's why I want to say, what are the opportunities for you to segue into recovery? Like, how do you recover at this point? Yes, they extended the renters moratorium for 30 more days to July. But if you look up on the schedule, a lot of companies aren't even ready for this summer splash. American Airlines canceling 80 flights a day till they get everybody back on staff. They've got massive numbers of people moving to Montana, and corn is up 50%. Now you're going to say, well, Erica, what does it have to do with economic recovery? Listen, we got to get prepared. You got to plan, and you got to get yourself in a rebuilding phase. That's why I brought on DJ Money. DJ Money, introduce yourself to the audience, because DJ Money, if you don't know this, will be on Classy Climb Tour in Atlanta, August 21st, 2021.
Well, there you go. So, hello, everybody. How you doing, Erica? It's good seeing you again after we were just together on, were we together? May?
We was in Houston, jamming out at a jam fest.
Yeah, we were jamming out at the Ghost Bar at what was it called? Business over breakfast?
Yes, Business Over Breakfast in Houston.
Business over breakfast, and I think I have a picture of us hanging out together, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I actually do.
Hey, everybody. So, you actually made the commercial. I have a commercial. Your face made it.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't even know. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So everybody know that we actually do hang out with each other.
In real life. Off the internets, people.
So if you don't know me, I'm DJ the Money Coach. I got a story similar to you guys. I actually came out of college real quickly. I had $60,000 worth of debt. $40,000 of it was credit card debt. $20,000 was actually student loans. I went to school to become a CPA, but I didn't. I actually got my undergraduate in broadcast journalism, television production with a minor in accounting. And about 5 years out of college, I actually went to go buy my first home, and I actually got turned down for a loan. And I was making a professional income, I don't know, $60,000, $70,000 at the time. This is a way back, guys. I'm a pretty young looking guy. So after getting turned down from that, I was discouraged. And then I started building a business about 3 years later. Went back to the same bank. To show you how dumb I was. I went back to the same bank. I actually had some contracts for my cleaning business called White Glove Immaculate Services. And I just needed to cover my accounts receivable and do some expansion for another $1 million contract I got. And I got turned down again. Same bank. And then I just asked them, I said, what's going on? I'm making money. I got business. And they said, you got a 525 personal credit score, and you got $60,000 worth of consumable debt, and it really doesn't matter how much income you get coming in, both on your personal or your business. We're not giving you a loan. So at that point, Erica and ladies and gentlemen, I could have been victim, blame the man, but I basically said, you know what? I ain't going for this. So I read a book called The Road to Wealth. I actually read the chapter specifically about personal credit, and I learned exactly how credit affected me negatively and how it affected me positively. 12 months from reading that book and applying I put it applied knowledge. My credit score went to 720. 24 months from there, my credit score rose to 800 and hasn't looked back since. And from that day, 3 years later, I became consumer debt free. 2002 of June, I paid off all my debt. Didn't file bankruptcy, didn't do some slick credit line swaps and all that crap. I dug in, took care of my responsibilities because I was the one who signed the credit card. And from 6 years from that day, Erica, I actually became a $250,000 income earner in 2008 of May, and I had a 7-figure net worth. And at that point, I decided that I can now help people do that. So I created a small program called Family Finance 101, and I started teaching it in my church and started getting people hooked up on it in my church. Word started getting out. Next thing I knew, I was teaching multiple churches. Then I was asked to teach at the YMCA. Then I started teaching for the Attorney General's Young Attorneys Prosecutor's Office. Then I started teaching for the state of Michigan. Started teaching for predatory lending as well. And another thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that my mother was also a victim of predatory lending in the early 90s. And also she was a victim of identity theft in the late 90s. So not only did I have, pains, my mother had pains as a single parent. I was able to get all that stuff rectified, get her stuff cleared out. And then fast forward today, 25,000 people later, having worked with the Montgomery Regional Airport, the AMAC, which is called Airport Minority Advisory Council, sought after by Fortune 1000 companies and Fortune 500 companies, Federal Reserve. And I taught financial education across the country, coast to coast. And then on top of that, Ericka, I taught people what's called 3 steps to success, that actually teaches people actually after they get their ducks in a row, pay themselves first, get their debt down to zero, increase their credit scores in 30 days or less by 60 to 100 points, and then get an 800 credit score. I actually teach them how to actually put that money to action by buying businesses, investing in real estate, and leveraging the tax laws. And that course I have been doing since 2005. And as of today, in that course, we have 250 homes that we own outright. My business partner and I that I've been knowing since he was 15, over $16 million worth of assets. We own cash in Detroit, which is where you have investments as well. And we also have about 30 properties in St. Louis market. We have properties in Chicago and Texas as well. And on top of that, Ericka, I also am a financier, which actually Tolero is actually not only my sponsor and your affiliate sponsor as well, but I also raise capital from anywhere from $500,000 to $500 million through my relationships over the past 20 years. So my claim to fame is we have helped thousands of people get consumer debt free and close to 100 become financially independent through our variety of programs. And what I always like to share with people, if they don't believe that it is true, it
wait, what was the first book you held up? Because people were asking in the chat, they're like, what's the name of the book? What's the name of the book?
This is the course, Family Finance 101, and it teaches 136 principles of financial success. And I actually have a live digital course. It's 3 hours, and it's basically 18 modules. And today, I actually taught the live course 3 weeks ago. I did a whole 3-hour live course that I haven't done in 2 years, since October of 2019. I'm going to give it to your people for a special, absolutely free, thrown in for them as well. And I actually wrote this little itty bitty book right before the recession broke out in 2008 called ABCs of Wealth,
ABCs of Wealth, y'all.
Achieving American Dream. And I actually predicted in this book about the Great Recession coming because I studied the savings and loan crisis in the 80s. And I talked about how people were doing stated income, no doc income back in 2005 to 2008, and actually didn't actually have the income, but they were getting all these assets, i.e. right now today, guess what? With interest rates at historical low rates ever, we're actually at negative rates in all actuality and super inflation. And so guess what's going to happen? All these people are buying more property than they can afford on the consumer side. There's going to be a reset in probably about 24, 36 months. And we're going to be in the same lane, maybe not as dynamic of a drop as we did in 2008, but it's going to be relative to a lot of people who don't have income, like you talk about no fourth stimulus coming forth. So we have gone out and become advocates, and I put together a team of professionals. It's called the 7 Spheres of Money, where Ericka, I actually literally have professionals that actually have 30 years of expertise in taxes, legal, financial planning, banking, estate planning. Every person on my team is either a millionaire or have managed millions of dollars of assets up to 1.7 billion. That's who I am on a regular basis, and I do this every day. And fortunately for us together, the great unique thing is we've worked with several people in your organization, and you know what? We actually have a live testimonial of people in the last time you talked to me that have done the program. And one of the things they say about it, this is not me, Ericka, this is them comparing programs that they bought outside of yours and mine that couldn't even stand the test of time with what we do for them. That's what we hang our hat at. That's what we're excited about.
Well, part of what reason I bring you on is there's going to be millions of people with credit issues. If we're looking at right now, I think I looked it up earlier. I'm going to double check. Somebody's going to be like, that's not the right number. People not paying their mortgage. Let me see. I think it's like, I wrote it down, but I can't find it.
Oh my goodness. You know what?
I think it's like 11 million people are behind on their rent or mortgage. Let me see. And this is the new report from the Consumer Financial Bureau. And I can share this.
Yeah. Another thing is too, Sitting down with some people that come out of your program, a lot of people got duped and went that forbearance program, didn't read the fine print. This is what my grandfather always told me: the big print give it, the little print take it away. They thought they were going to get that forbearance for absolutely free, and when they start to engage it, Ericka, there's fees of between $4,000 up to $10,000, depending on the price of your mortgage, in order for you to get back engaged, and you cannot even get out of the mortgage because of these forbearances. So I always try to caution people that don't take the free, because free is not free.
Okay.
And you're finding that with the student loans as well.
Well, I'm going to say, I got one thing I think I want to say here on this. And you can see the screen. I've tried to make it as big as possible. It's 11 million people behind, but 8.8 million renters are behind. 2.1 million families in homes are 3 months behind on their mortgage. Now, I'm going to just say this as an obvious. By the time you've gotten enough money to get yourself into a house, you are more likely in a more financial stable position than someone who's just renting. And that's just is what it is. Whether a lot of the data says the average renter only has $5,000 in savings, the average homeowner has closer to 20 grand. Now that could be in items, that can be in things to sell, that can be in all kind of ways. But again, homeowners alone owe an estimated $90 billion in missed payments. We also have, I mean, they, the stats. Again, man, 9% of renters, 28% of manufactured home, which is mobile home residents, are behind. 12% of single family homes and 18% of residents in a small to medium sized multifamily building. So this is all stuff you can find here on consumerfinance.gov. Also, you got to think about how many people are behind on their car payments. So a lot of people's credit is going to be looking really funky for the next 2 years. And it won't just be these tactics that are going to get you out of this. Now, the reason I keep saying there won't be a fourth stimulus is this is what's coming down the pipeline. People are saying this in the White House and in Congress, but also the fact that you just released this massive stimulus bill for infrastructure and also government contracts, where we're increasing minorities getting government contracts from 10% to 15%.
Yeah, but the reality is a lot of people still are not going to qualify that. And like the last time I was on your show, I tried to forewarn people that those stimulus is going to boost the consumer aspect of the American economy. Not going to build any assets, because immediately, just like you see now, vacation spots are overcharging.
Booming.
They're catching up. Airline prices are overcharging, delays and everything, because those people are taking that cabin fever over the last 18 months and getting out like a prison break. And they're not using their common sense to actually get assets underneath their portfolio, pay down their debt. And I actually had talked to an actual client the other day, and I was like, you know what? Right now, you should actually be acquiring, assets, pay off your debt that's minor, and get that in a passive standpoint, because you don't have an emergency fund. And it amazes me that when I sit down with people, Ericka, who make $100,000, $150,000, and they have barely $5,000 set aside for an emergency fund.
It happens to the best of us. So I don't want y'all to feel bad, but I'm telling you, someone asked me why was I looking at land, investing in farming. Right now, ranchers, and I'm gonna show you this picture. Let me pull this up.
They're not building any more land, and if you buy it strategically, and agriculture is coming back big time, you're going to look at like the project that we're just talking about with Marcus, for example. They're building that $40 million, 200 unit luxury, millennial, venue not too far from you, and that's from getting a tract of land pretty much for a really good deal, because they bought it ahead of the pandemic.
Are you talking about in Atlanta? You talking about Tyler Perry and the Preacher?
No.
I'm talking about you guys.
No, I'm talking about here up the road from you in Austin.
Oh yes.
Right.
Marcus. Yeah.
Right. So they put that buy option on that tract of 200 acres well before the pandemic kicked off, and now that's becoming a really good investment, because it's going to grow 5 to 10x in value just from where it's sitting at in the next 24 to 48 months. And so when you're telling people about going out here, and a lot of companies are going and buying land from farmers, and they're turning it into office space, warehousing, like Amazon is doing, and stuff like that, industrial, and like Kansas City Southern, building these corridors, and they're creating whole new communities. And that agriculture land is now, if you're in the agriculture business right now, and you know what you're doing, you can get deals with a lot of major grocers, a lot of restaurants and things of that nature, and get government subsidies on top of that and hit a home run if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's several farmers that are on the edges of Austin, and it just took one or two influencers to mention their place, and they're sold out for the year. So again, in the rise of 20%, I'm trying my hardest to find some small farming hobby farmers to bring onto the show and bring onto the class. But I'm telling you, everyone I talk to is super busy. I just looked at 11 acres in edges of Austin for 250,000, and a house was included on it,
Mm.
and it had two ponds. And I think there was, last time I checked, it was like 25 offers.
Oh
And I
wow.
was like, dang, and I'm like on the edge of Austin, right? Um,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
good.
you could do all kind of little hobby farm stuff. It's very popular. But yeah, I put this up here because you see the red is the drought space.
Hmm.
Texas just had all that rain, and Houston hates rain because it floods, but we needed that rain because it actually reset the center part of Texas. We are no longer in a drought, but the western part still slightly is. California, Las Vegas, you know why that's happening. Arizona, New Mexico, it's because so many people are pouring out of California into places that are basically deserts. And so they're having some issues, plus Idaho with some food issues. So when I tell people, if you wanted to get in agriculture, this was your time, the average farmer is 65 years old and they ready to roll out,
Oh
roll
yeah.
out and sell.
Yeah, they ready to sell. They have no more tax benefits that are significant. Just like if you
Yeah.
understand how commercial real estate works, generally all your tax benefits are done after 15 years. So you usually have a step up basis where you have to pay that depreciation back. So generally is a good time to actually work with them because they are incentivized to actually do seller financing as well. And then also they can actually sell it to you in shorter terms and better, rates because they're trying to avoid estate tax, penalties. So that's one of the things that we teach in our 3 steps to success course as well. So at the end of the day, you basically got to know where the trends are going before people get there, and then you got to lay the foundation. And then once you lay the foundation, you got to have the right team in place that's actually already have done it. And that's another thing that I always like to share with people, Ericka, and you know this, is that when people invest in startups, ideas are great, but they invest their money in management of teams that have already accomplished that idea that you may have to bring it over
Mm-hmm.
the finish line. And that's where the importance of having the 7 Spheres of Money program and having experts that are 30 years on, commercial real estate, 30 years in mortgage banking, 30 years in financial planning, 30 years in actual tax, advantages, and then most importantly, 30 years in capital raise. And I don't think our people understand the value of that. And what I really realized, I had a actually epiphany, is that a lot of these people on the internet, they come from a, I don't want to say a poverty position, but they come from a not a wealth position. And what do I mean by that? Is that if you didn't come from professional middle class when you were brought into this world, you didn't know that systems actually sustain lifestyle and multi-generational wealth. So when you're out here hustling, which I'm not really a proponent of calling things hustle, if you're going to start a business, it needs to set up like a corporation. You need to have a CFO,
Systems in place.
you need to have a CIO, you need to have a CTO, you need to have a CMO, and things of that nature, right? So
Mm-hmm.
generally, what our people do is they go out here and they hustle and work their butt off, and they make $100,000. But now they don't know how to manage the $100,000. Now
Mm-hmm.
they got tax consequences because even though they did the, I'm gonna fill out my LLC online myself and save a couple of $100, they don't know how to incorporate the LLC into a corporation and actually get tax-free dividends. So what I realized after working with a few of these small business owners and even going to that event that you and I went to and
Mm-hmm.
meet a couple of those guys, I'm gonna tell you, 90% of those people you introduced me to, Ericka, they were clueless about what I was telling them about business systems and tax leverage. And
Mm-hmm.
now there's a position where right now you need to set up with your accountant, set up with your attorney. You're already doing this, Ericka, and then set up with your planner. And you should be planning out 6, 12 months in advance on how, when you get to that 100 grand, how, when you get to that $1 million, that you're doing tax wealth strategy planning. And a lot of people, you know what? I normally don't do this for free, but I'm going to show your people a book that I normally don't reveal to people. If here's the nugget of value. If you are really serious about business, you need to get this book right here. Tax Free Wealth. And this guy right here is a heavy hitter. Tom Wheelwright, CPA. And what he talks about is tax strategies, how you can pay zero taxes. And he comes from the perspective of just talking about, what's the thing that everybody is hooked on is the cash flow quadrant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got the cash flow quadrant in here, and he gives a comparison about why you should not invest in 529 plans. And it breaks down that if you can save for 529, you can actually build a business, charge your tax bracket to your children and also to your older parents, and be at a lower tax bracket and actually create wealth in the process. So we are, putting people in these models, Ericka, and getting them educated so that they can actually benefit from that. And that's significant. And you're looking at somewhere saving $30,000 to $40,000 a year on a 6-figure revenue generating business. So if that doesn't make sense to you, then probably your wood is wet. And you know what happens to wet wood? It sinks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get paid not one penny to endorse this book, but this book is the truth in setting up that model. In addition with the emails, after you've done first, get the basics taken care of. Because I'm always gonna harp on this.
Mm-hmm.
Consumer debt free. If you're taking on debt, it's got to be leveraged by your business to make money, and then leveraged by the tax laws to actually give you the tax credits to actually enable you to build wealth just from the savings of the taxes that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to get credit lines in your business and actually increase your credit scores as well, and then build up your passive income. And the road to get to for financial independence, which is what I achieve and help 100 people do, is $8,333 a month in passive income. Consumer debt free, Ericka, you can live like millionaires across the globe, because the average affluent house, professional median house, is about $380,000, and your expenses with 4 children, paying for their school, paying for 2 car notes, it still leaves you about $1,500 a month in positive cash flow.
Listen, y'all, the reason I bring him on here is I'm telling you, he's hitting on these tax strategies. The reason I'm sharing on the USDA page with you guys is a lot of people had asked about farming, why and what. Pretty much we're at a point right now where it's kind of guaranteed loans, even if you haven't farmed in 10 years. And so this is part of why I'm bringing this to you guys. And again, DJ is someone who can help you clean up that credit, help you get on the right path. So when you do go into one of these meetings with Capital Farm Credit or somebody in this region to buy land or buy a farm, it makes sense because you have your assets lined up. It makes sense because he's helped you straighten out your credit. It makes sense because now they have a plan for you. So again, they were like bars.
Here's my credit score right there, 827. My credit score is 827. My credit score in March was 821. So again, my dad said, eat your own dog food first.
Yep.
So I love it when people come onto these social media platforms, they read a book, they take a seminar, and now they're expert or a guru. Let me share with your audience this too.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for 20 years, Ericka.
Mm-hmm.
I made it through 9/11. I had a cleaning business that was 7 figures. And after 9/11, my cleaning business grew by almost 40%. And guess what? In the pandemic, do you know that JanPro, the largest commercial cleaning business, has grown by like 35% because of the supply and demand for sanitary and all that stuff?
Sanitization.
Exactly. And guess how I know, ladies and gentlemen? Because I actually am a consultant to the third largest JanPro franchisor in the United States, based out of Houston. I'm a consultant for them. So I made it through 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
2008, when the market crashed, my business grew by almost 32%. And in the pandemic, my business, DJ the Money Coach Online, has grown by 75% in the last 12 months.
I think there was ants on the floor from earlier, like a little bit of ants. I stepped on them.
Oh, okay. So what does that say? That says that if you are working with an expert and they haven't lost any money or they haven't made it through a major catastrophe, they're probably not the person that can help you sustain wealth. They might be able to trade you some tricks. You get your credit lines down, trading lines with your buddies and stuff. You want to get a Home Depot credit card, a Target, or a Staples, and build that little small credit line. But they can't show you how to go into the bank like you and I do and build up 25, 50, 100, $500,000 credit lines. See, so we got to stop that madness, and we got to do the basics, because the basics is always going to secure that you'll be here after everything clears. Because when this correction clears, like you're talking about, Ericka, there's not going to be too many people standing.
DJ, talk to them for a second. I'm gonna mute this so he can
Sure.
get these ants. I'm gonna
No
mute
problem
myself
at
and
all.
mute my camera. Take it over for a
Yeah,
second.
so let me talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, about what we're going to help you out with. So on June 29th, we're actually going to do a live webinar from Chicago with Byron Sellers, who is the founder of Mobile Elite Mobile Home Investors. And we're actually going to show you guys how to buy the mobile homes and actually participate in mobile home parks. We're also going to show you guys how to actually invest in real estate properties from investments as low as $7,500 to $40,000, where you own them outright and get $800 a month in passive income. We're also going to show you how to invest in startups and actually take you from zero to $100,000 in passive income in 36 months. So if you are one person that's looking for the right system, the right access to what I call STEAM, science, technology, engineering, entrepreneurship, access to mentorship, we're actually going to put you in position to actually get into 4 asset columns. Number 1, residential investment properties from 0 to 40,000 with $800 a month, passive income. Number 2, we're going to show you how to get on board with mobile homes investments for as little as $5,000 that you can flip it in 45 days and make 2 to 3 times your money, or $500 a month in passive income. Number 3, we're actually going to show you actually how to invest in your own business and actually get you capital if you have a business plan to put together. And number 4, we're going to show you how to participate in startup companies that are 100% Black owned. So on June 29th at 7 p.m. Central Time, you'll get access to all of that great information. And that's all started with a Family Finance 101 Pay Yourself First program. And we'll challenge you. If you don't have relationships with accountants, attorneys, financial planners, estate planners, and bankers on the regular, and you're running a business and you're not sitting down with those individuals every 90 days, you're not running a business.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest with you. Not running a business, because you won't be able to stand the test of time when the pandemic happens or the market, changes in the industry you're in, because you're not really stable, because you don't have 2 times your reoccurring expenses, and you don't have 3 to 4 years worth of resources that you can tap into, which Ericka has and which I have. And we're going to bring that down to the basics with, what other people can't do, because again, all these people outside of Ericka that I've met on these platforms don't have these things in place. Ericka has attorneys. Ericka has accountants. She has banker relationships. These other people that I met, no dispersion on them. Is the simple fact is, when I ask them these questions, asking for their P&Ls, their K1s, asking for their tax strategy, they don't have a clue what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about some people I've met that are making, $250,000, $500,000 a year on social media, but they are just out there hustling without a business system. You need to have a
DJ,
business system.
that's part of why I teach what I teach. I think there's a little bit of feedback on your side. The reason I teach what I teach is because I want people to understand that if you don't have a system in place, you'll keep repeating year one of your business, hustling, fulfilling. This is how I was able in 3 years to know, okay, I'm gonna pivot this way in trucking. We're gonna get rid of this many trucks. We're gonna do this to these trucks. And if you haven't worked with someone who's experienced a loss, again, people making fun of me like, oh, Ericka, how you lose out $800,000 with trucks? Literally, we made $1 million and we lost almost $1 million. So there's sometimes you have to pay attention to your business and your numbers. And if you have P&Ls, you have structure, you have systems in place, you can figure out how to pivot in business and do what else you need to do. I was able to even buy a cleaning company in this time frame where all this was going on. So folks have to understand that, like, what we're talking about gets you to the direction where you want to be, but you got to be accountable and you got to know your numbers.
Man.
So when I talk to people, they don't have a QuickBooks, I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness. Ericka, you just said something so important. It's the experiences of our losses that actually make us the expert to help people out. Let me just chime in on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Proof is in the pudding. So I was in the bill pay business, right?
Yep.
And you see that Easy Pay 24 kiosks. This was back in 2006 to 2011. Okay. You know what? That was before Google Pay, Apple Pay, Acorn, all these apps that you can pay bills and stuff like that on your watch and all that. It was a early adopter, right? So we signed $6 million contract with HEB, $12 million contract with Love's. Now, I end up selling off 95% of that business, okay? Because I had thought I was having a heart attack in 2012 and 2013. I was so stressed out, patches of bald spots in my hair and everything, and I'm chasing that $1 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because I was in good shape, my cardiologist, which I never had one at the time until I woke up like 3 o'clock in the morning, felt like my heart was jumping out of my chest. So I had to immediately rush to the hospital. And so I saw the special cardiologist, and he said, "Man, what do you do for a living?" I said, "I'm an entrepreneur." He said, well, you need to stop doing what you're doing because you're going to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
He said, so it's $1 billion worth your life if you are not taking care of the stress in your life. So the moral of the story is that when I sold off majority of that business, Ericka, but I created relationships in the commercial sector, in the grocery business, in the convenience store business, in the restaurant business. And guess what? I was just able to tap Tolero into all those relationships, Ericka, from the
Mm-hmm.
past 10 years that has put Tolero in position to be in almost 60 different restaurants, clubs, and grocery stores because of my past relationships. And that's all on relationships and experience. Why is that important? It's just what you
Mm-hmm.
said, because I also lost $500,000 in investments during that time because I was stressed out and everything. But now, because I know the people, I know what I know versus what I was trying to do, I can direct people away from the landmines, tap them into the actual experts with experience and relationships, and be a conciliary to them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the system is in place, just like 3 Steps to Success. We started that in 2005, and we built all these houses. And now, today, we're growing faster than we ever have because we're the actual large elephant in the room with the upcoming newbies.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't pay for that stuff on the internet if you don't have relationships like you and I have, where you may have the capital and you may go invest and you don't have the politics or the person on the ground who really knows it, how you went out and did your screening of your properties in
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, North Carolina, and you saw that some of the contractors were trying to run game on you.
Yep.
How are you going to be in California trying to invest in Detroit if you don't have somebody that intimately knows the game, been there for 5, 10 years, have relationships to protect your interests?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. Like Auntie said, that's how Reginald F. Lewis passed away. Brain aneurysm at 50 years of age because he was stressed out, even though he was the first billionaire and the first one ever in the history of the world to do an international leverage buyout with Beatrice Foods for over $1 billion. So what your people should be looking at right now is like, man, okay, we got these relationships. Let's invest in ourselves. And I want people to stop doing this too. We just sat down probably with 100 people over the past 3 months. And the first thing coming out of their mouth is the word cost. Guess what? Cost is a negative word when you're building anything of value. You don't say cost when you go buy them red bottom shoes. You don't say cost when you go buy that new Tesla. You know what I'm saying? You don't say
Right.
cost when you go get that 3,000, 5,000 vacation. You say, oh, I'm going to experience a great feeling. But when they talk about building in themselves, the first words fall out of their mouth is, oh man, that's a cost. No, that's an investment because after you build the pipeline, it's paying you for the rest of your life, just like you and I have. And why would you not want to have that versus having a good experience for a short period of time? And you got to go back to the drawing board. So here's what I always challenge people, Ericka. Don't tell me you've been doing this for 20 years and you got the same experience over and over. You're not an expert.
Mm-hmm.
Show me you've been doing concentrated effort and actually built something that's sustainable without you actually being there. You went to Alaska and you were still making money.
Yep.
I'm going to Chicago and Detroit and Florida, and I'm still going to be making money. Why is that? Because you and I built the pipeline. We have the systems in place, like Michael Gerber talks about in email. So if you are really interested, instead of hustling and hustling and hustling and building a pipeline like Robert Kiyosaki talks about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, then that's where we can provide that help for you. And yes, we're going to do it at the fundamental basics because here's the challenge. I bet you, and since I've been working with you, Ericka, it's been 9 months now, and probably 5% of people I talk to have any system in place. And that is sad. But all these people claim to be entrepreneurs. They're wannabes. They're not entrepreneurs.
What ends up happening is with the tide coming out, as we say, when the tide's out, everybody, who's swimming naked. What we're learning is a lot of people from the PPP debacle to all this other stuff. Um, a lot of what you're seeing is people just not properly structured. So I have a picture inside of my Facebook group, and I think I can show it here and not be showing any private information. Um, when you do your taxes and when people apply for the PPP loan, that information was public. Like, people can get a general sense of how much your company is making, because a lot of stuff you guys don't realize is public. Let me see if I can pull this up
Mm-hmm.
real quick. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. I'll just share this screen.
Definitely true. And that's why every year as a small business person, I don't care if you're making $1 in business.
So if you're inside my Facebook group, you've seen this. We have a ton of people still waiting to get in, but pre-qualified for 78,000, pre-qualified for 150,000. I get letters like that often, not from big banks, from capital companies, which are investors all over Austin and Dallas and Houston and Florida, where they can see that you are getting money, your company's making money, you're paying taxes, you're paying employees, and they send these in the mail nonstop. And guess what they say? They don't ask what's your credit score. That's not the first thing out their mouth. They go, show me that P&L, show me those bank statements, show me your plan for the next 90 days, and then show me your credit. Exactly. So if you know you got the bad credit, you don't have your books in order, you don't have your P&Ls, you don't have your bank statements, what can people do to get you together?
You know, it's so funny. If you don't even know what those things mean, you definitely need to come see us.
Yeah. So this is why I'm showing this, and people are like, oh, Ericka, you'll get over leveraged, you take all this debt. No. Again, these people are sending you amount. They're doing calculations on their end, how much your business making this much money a year can possibly pay and take on. And I get it. You guys keep wanting to talk about Blackstone, but we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so let me answer the question about Blackstone. If you ain't in Blackstone's segment, why are you worried about Blackstone?
Are you invested in Blackstone?
Here's what Robert Kiyosaki says. Number one rule to success: mind your own business. I'm gonna say that again. Mind your own business. If you're so constantly worrying about everybody else, you're never getting out of the starting gate. And in order for you to play ball with Blackstone, guess what? You need to be an accredited investor. Are you buying luxury houses? So what does it matter to you? See, a lot of times people want people to tell them what they want to hear versus what they need to know. If you don't right now have, $8,333 a month in passive income, you don't need to be concerned yourself about Blackstone. If you don't have $1,500 in passive income, you don't need to concern yourself about Blackstone.
People are like, Blackstone's buying up all the houses for the middle class. No, they're not.
No.
That's still small investors. Blackstone's buying up mobile home parks and people that have trust issues.
That's where they're spending their money at majority right now. So again, what you should be thinking about, okay, if I make $1,000 a month in working income, how do I make $1,000 a month in passive income that's sustainable without my effort? That's what you should be looking at. Because here's the reality. Out of 300 million tax returns, 20% of individuals make $60,000 a year. 10% make $85,000 a year. 5% make $125,000 a year. Ask yourself a question. Which tax return bracket are you in? And most importantly, which one, if you can't work physically tomorrow and the stimulus is done, that you actually going to have residual income from? And if you can answer that and you're in the top 5%, then maybe you should be considering looking about what Blackstone is doing. But right now, you should be minding your own damn business and worrying about how you're going to put your
Don't curse. You're going to mess it up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But here's the thing. Public service announcement. Everybody knows the Kwame Brown deal, right? Me personally, I'm like, what does it matter what Kwame Brown is doing and all these other clowns if it's not benefiting my household? So first thing first, line yourself up with your God. Second thing, take care of your family. Third thing, invest in a business that can create wealth, multi-generational. And fourth thing, protect it so that it can be passed on. And then you can worry about all this white noise, because winners do not worry about what losers are doing. You're never going to see the lion worrying about the, gazelle. You're not going to see the lion worrying about one hyena or a gnat. You're not going to see the shark worrying about the belly feeders. And that's the problem with why people don't have sustainable success, because they so busy out here freaking gossiping. And if I can't invest in what Blackstone is investing, that's gossiping.
And I put Blackstone Group here because it's $100 share price. And what did we talk about last time? I don't know if you were on the show when we were talking about iHeartMedia. People were complaining about, the podcast that's on iHeartMedia attacking Kwame Brown. Okay, iHeartMedia is $22 a share. Are you buying some shares? Or are we just talking?
Right. Right. Have you bought, what I talked about last time we were on here, which was the techno stocks, the electric stock? Have you bought that since the last time? Do you know that those have gone up by like 35% since the last time I came on the show? Do you have some, dividend stocks? Because if not, you should stop worrying about that stuff. I mean, if you're in the auto business, you should start checking out loopinsure.co. Another Black-owned business that's actually leveraging the playing field for your immediate needs in the marketplace.
Oh, you guys are right. I was typing too fast. That BlackRock. I apologize. Do you have $867?
Yeah.
Let's really talk about it.
And
you have $867.
You got to have 5,000 shares of that to even make it worth your time. 1,000 shares, 500 shares. BlackRock is already, set sail. You're not going to make a mint investing in BlackRock unless you got
with 1% dividend.
Right. Institutional money. But you can actually get with a NEO, get with an XPEV, get it right now while it's like $35, $42, or better yet. I'm going to give you guys another tip that I normally don't give to people. And again, I'm not a certified financial planner anymore. I'm not a registered investment advisor anymore. But guess what? Let me give you a tip. Here's a free nugget tip. You want a stock to invest in? Look up BlackBerry and see who BlackBerry now does business with outside of the cell phone business, and why BlackBerry might end up being a stock like Netflix. Look it up. I'm gonna give you one more. And I never do this, Ericka. But I'm just tired of people talking about stuff that they don't know the hell what they talking about. Okay? So again, I got 20 years in this game. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I used to run my own financial planning practice with over $40 million worth of assets under management that I grew from $50,000 investment. And I had a seven-figure net worth doing that and a six-figure income doing that. So I might know something about individual stocks. And again, I'm not giving you stock investment advice, but I'm telling you, if you're talking about Blackstone, look at some stocks that actually can provide some growth at your affordability price point. Okay? So I'm gonna give you one more. Man, I shouldn't do this. Should I do this, Ericka?
Do it.
All right. Look up this little itty bitty company called Ericka and find out what they're doing now. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, these two tips I gave you, I normally charge $1,000 an hour for this. If you look up Ericka and look what
$12.58. They've been up.
That they're involved in, these two stocks are going to hit it out of the park in the next 24 to 36 months.
In 1 year they've been up 32%.
Exactly. BlackBerry has grown by 37% just in the last 35, 40 days because of their technology that's in the techno stock industry pertaining to artificial intelligence.
You guys, is this good information? I mean, we're at 250 people in here. Drop a 1 in the likes if you like this info.
Exactly. How do I know? You know why, Ericka? Because I spend 20 hours a week studying this stuff. And I teach children how to invest in dividend stocks. So when people out here talking about, oh man, I can show you how to take 500 and make 10,000. Man, stop that lying. Stop that lying. So last night, I was with John Henry. Everybody know John Henry from EYL, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you. So, proof is in the pudding. I don't do no brags, but that's John Henry right there.
Yep.
Fortune magazine 30 under 30. Guess what? You know this, Ericka. My son is his executive assistant at 17 years of age. So why are they hanging out with us? Because we are the truth. And he's the truth. And winners hang out with winners, just like you and I hang out together. So if you want to get down with the program, get the basics first, take care of that stuff, stop trying to get quick rich, and put yourself on a 90-day program, a 12-month program, a 36-month program, and a 5-year program, and then you can sit in the same seat that Ericka and I sit in. And my man, Tim Grover, if you know who Tim Grover is, he was the trainer to Michael Jordan. He says, guess what? Winning does not count on anything that you come up with other than winning. And if you're sitting out here talking about what you can do, but you ain't out there doing it, all you're doing is making yourself look like a fool. So I'm coming a little hard today, but I'm about to take vacation, and I'm excited because we got so many great things that we can offer foundationally and fundamentally for our people that we can actually help them get going. Do I have BlackRock money? You know what? I got
No, he was saying no. Auntie was saying that's what you said.
Okay. I'm
Take
sorry.
a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Don't you do it. Auntie's got BlackRock money. Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
It says, she said, focus on the houses in the hood that you ignore, then complain about gentrification when other folks buy them. Honey, right now, I tell people all the time, I'm like, 35K and 35,000 in Inglewood, or they used to have the open lot program. If there was an open lot beside your house,
$100.
Yep.
$100.
Right. It's
Go
same
back
in
and
Detroit.
buy back the block. Tell you what, you come through our program, I'm gonna tell you about a opportunity zone event in the Midwest that's worth almost $2 billion that we're participating in, and you can get in for as small as an investment of like $20,000. I'm talking about buying blocks, and it's designated specifically for Black purchasers on the real estate side. We were just looking at the project last week, and I'll actually be on the site in 6 days. So if you want to talk about worrying about people coming in and taking over, again, buy back your own blocks, get set up with a syndicate. So let me tell you another thing. So I'm sitting down with my Asian Indian friend, okay, over at Peli Peli restaurant. So you guys look up Peli Peli, P-E-L-I, capital P-E-L-I, South African restaurant. So my friend tells me how the Indians come over here and they just take over. I already knew this, but it just crystallized in my head. They say, hey, you know what we do? We befriend people. We give them, help and don't ask much for it. And then after we build that relationship, we bring over, 10 people at a time. And if I got $500,000, instead of me trying to make that $500,000 into 20, 30 million, I bring 10 of my $500,000 friends together, and we have 5 million, and we make 100 million. And then we channel that down for 4 generations. I'm sitting in his restaurant in the Galleria, Ericka, and he's telling me this story with a friend of mine that I'm introducing him to for the import-export business to Lima, Peru, to all the corridor from Peru to Bolivia. Why am I telling you that? Because when you told me to, take over for a little bit, that STEAM, I want you guys to write this down. If you're paying attention, I want you to write this acronym down. STEAM. S is for science. T is for technology. E is for entrepreneur and engineer, but A is for access to mentorship. If you don't have the A and the M, you're losing. Me sitting down in that restaurant, literally on Tuesday night, talking to this guy who's worth $30 million, and he's introducing my client to his organization and gonna fund them and actually do export with him. She couldn't spend the money in the world to get access to him. Me linking up Tolero to my easy pay, bill pay connections in the grocery business, the truck business. How much could you pay to get access to scale up, to have that access and that mentorship? That's what we're talking about at the end of the day. We don't do that in our community. But fortunately, Ericka, you do that all the time. You forced me to go to business over breakfast. I was like, I ain't going to that. He's like, DJ, that's right in your backyard. I said, Ericka, I don't do that stuff anymore. And lo and behold, you bless me. I end up meeting Byron, meeting the other cowboy guy and the other 4 or 5 people introduced me to. And I needed to know those people because you gave me access. I can't put a price on that. And you did it with no intentions to get something from me. But now the blessing is we get to bless you back in return. And we get to bless your network back in turn. Instead of we fighting against each other, we should be cooperative, economically working together as a unit and actually go out here and conquer the whole world. Locally, then globally. We don't do that. And you know what? I'm actually, be honest with you, outside of my relationship with you, Ericka, and a couple other small people that look like us, I'm working with whomever is smart enough to make money with integrity.
Yep.
Because just because you black business don't mean you exclusively work just with black people. That means your business is open for everybody. You happen to be a black business owner and you help your people who are ready, prepared, and humble. I'm going to put the emphasis on humility. We have too many people on this platform, and I'm talking about social media platform. They all about the drip and the dazzle and all. Hey, you know what? I don't have a problem with that if you actually got that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you went out there, got the stimmy, and then you put this, $100,000. Did you see that story about the clown who won the lottery? You feel me?
I knew you were gonna bring it up. I knew it.
But again, if you can afford that stuff, and this is what Deion Sanders said. One time he was being criticized by a sports reporter about his Ferrari that was like $300,000. And Deion said, "Hey man, let me ask you a question." He said, "How much money you make a year?" And the reporter said, "Oh, I make like 60,000." He said, "How much your car costs?" He said, "My car costs 30,000." He said, "So you make 60,000, but you got a $30,000 car, so you spending 50% of your gross income on a depreciable asset, and my car don't even represent 5% of my net worth or my cash flow. Which one of us is stupid?"
Yeah.
And I know your audience probably getting upset with DJ the Money Coach right now.
No.
We about keeping it real. And we got the receipts. And again, we'll challenge anybody out there in professional middle class and working middle class that got a better team than we have compiled over 20 years. That can help any and everybody out. And matter of fact, a couple of people that you introduced me to at the Breakfast Over Business that were making 6 figures strong are actually talking to my accountant and attorney right now as we speak, Ericka.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Listen, y'all know what time it is. DJ, I'm emailing your staff some stuff I saw. That's why you don't see me over here, but I'm sending it to Nick. But we got some events coming through, y'all. We got some stuff in the pipeline. Y'all got to see.
Man, we excited. We are excited. We got events coming up. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna do boat parties and stuff with people and hang out and have a good time. Matter of fact, Nick and I are gonna be in Chicago for the 4th of July celebrating. So if you are in Chicago, which is my hometown, I'll be there from the 1st through the 4th. And if you are a member of Ericka's program, a member of my program, hit us up and come out and celebrate with us, and we'll show you a good time in Chicago. And unfortunately, we'll have to write it off our taxes.
It's a shame. It's just a shame.
It's a shame we got to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I am fired up. You definitely do. And here's another thing. Let me say, I love this statement by Rick Bickham. It's absolutely right. Yes, you do need to have skin in the game to make money off the stock market. You know what? Here's the thing that we don't do. Ain't nothing that we're involved in, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, that we don't invest in first. We are eating our own dog food before we ever offer it to anybody else. You know what? You have a lot of these fake gurus out here. They go read a book, they go to a seminar, they promote something that they ain't even invested in. That's the most dangerous person to be around. Everything that we do in the 7 spheres of money, DJ the Money Coach got thousands of dollars in it before I even bring it to the market. From what I learned about Ericka, she's got thousands of dollars invested in it before she even brings it to the market. That's a true person with integrity, humility.
So this person came in crying, y'all. So let's go ahead and address the crying. Now, it's quit clickbaiting. You don't know it won't be a forced stimulus. There's already 11 states who've cut the unemployment. They cut it. It's gone. It's done. They cut it early outside the government. There are over 10 states right now who are already voting to move forward with evictions. There will be no fourth stimulus. Joe Biden used all the economic push he could use to get this last bill, this trillions of dollars in debt bill, pushed through for the year. Trust me. Go read a few articles on it. There will be no fourth stimulus. There will be none.
Guess what? What did I just say? Mind your own business. And you know what? Winners don't even acknowledge silly comments like that.
Well, people keep asking. People come in late
because you're
come in a little late.
That person is delusional, and that person is losing, and they're distracting somebody else who came on this platform to get real help. And that's the problem with social media and the cancel culture. A lot of those people are nuts, flat out losers. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. They're losers.
I've been putting people on timeout. We're gonna put them in the block nation. Y'all know the block ministry over here.
That's right. So
We
you
pray
are
for them. Take them
blessed,
to the
ladies
block.
and gentlemen, to have somebody like Ericka that's actually doing the work. She's unselfishly helping out a whole bunch of people. And again, she's giving you access to mentorship that 9 out of 10 people on these platforms don't do. Again, I got 20 years in this game. 20.
Mm-hmm.
Built 12 businesses. 8 of them failed big time.
Mm-hmm.
But 4 of them made 7 figures. And matter of fact, we got one that's going to be creeping on 8 figures. So, you know, I don't entertain silly comments. You know, that's for fools.
Golden Girl said, DJ's bringing the heat.
You know, and again, if you want to get down with us, we got a special program for you live with, again, Byron Sellers from the Mobile Elite Investors. We're both Chicagoans. We're going to be doing a live webinar on June 29th, which is Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'm also going to give you my 3-hour live replay of the Family Finance 101 course that I get paid $15,000 to $20,000 to do for corporations. I'm going to give that to you absolutely free. And I'm also going to give you a complimentary consultation that I charge $1,000 an hour for my time to get you right like rain. Matter of fact, Ericka, if I'm not mistaken, we got a testimonial video from the last time I was on your show from people in your community that are talking about what we've done for them and their families. That is amazing. These ain't my words. This ain't us asking them. They just sent it because they were compelled. And we're talking about from people that make $30,000 a year to over $250,000 a year that had gaps in their system because they didn't have a business like we run our business, like corporate America, like Ericka runs her business. Ericka can go on vacation because she's got the system in place, like what Michael Gerber talks about in E-Myth. And this is what I told somebody. I said, Ericka, I said this to a person. I said, let me ask you a question. Does the CEO of McDonald's file for their own LLC? Does the CEO of Subway file for their trademark?
With that fake tuna sandwich.
Exactly. Does the CEO of Loop do their own taxes? So why are you doing all that stuff yourself, trying to save a couple of dollars and claim that you're a professional at it? Stop doing that. Invest in the professionals and then let your creativity side make you money and let them regulate and systematize it for you so you can hire a VA or a high-end professional that can actually help you scale up. And now you got a real business. And if you did get the stimulus money, make that stimulus money work. First way for you to get a return on investment, here's a tip. Pay off that freaking credit card and get 18% back.
All right, let me read some of the comments while DJ takes calm down a little bit. K Business Podcast. Maryland cut the unemployment. People are crying. The ticker number was Eric. We had on the screen. Go drive Uber Eats, make 100. Yeah, the other day somebody said, well, I don't have enough money to get the LLC. It's $125 in the state they named. Okay, go drive for Uber.
Check this out. No, don't do Uber. Don't do Lyft. You know what? Do Amazon Web Services. Okay. Because the same amount of time that you go out there hustling to make your $1,000 a week, you can actually make $3,000 to $4,000 doing Amazon Web Service, and it's 100% your business. Know how I know? I give you guys 3 guesses. First 2 don't count. I can guarantee you'll do better with AWS than Uber and Lyft. You know why? Because I've had 20 clients over the last 6 months doing Uber and Lyft, and I've compared them side by side with people doing AWS through Geeky Niche, who come through your program, Ericka, and she's actually put people in business to make $3,000 to $12,000 a month in the same time frame and own everything with half the amount of time and half the amount of headache. I actually had a client who was a cousin of mine, was calling me angry in line to get Uber Eats. He's driving, and they forgot the order and got it wrong. And he spent 20 hours over the weekend and he made $250. And he makes over $75,000 a year in his profession. And now, you know what? He's doing Amazon Web Services. You're beating up your car, your insurance costs go up, all that. When you can do something smarter and duplicate a system that makes you 100% a owner. Stop allowing yourself to be hustled out as a slave for other people building wealth for them.
I always say it like this. There's levels to this. If you about to be homeless, go on over there and get the driving.
Right.
But
right.
If not, you got some time. Get on it. Get on with it.
Right. Because again, we want that easy money. You feel me? And hey, if that's the only way you can make money, go do it. But if you got some options, that's your option. You know what I mean? And again, sit down and get an evaluation. When's the last time you had a financial plan done for yourself? When's the last time you had a financial checkup from the neck up? When the last time you actually looked at your paper assets and found out exactly what type of investor you are legally? People not doing that. And that's why you will still be on the rat race wheel over and over and over, because you haven't figured out the formula, because you're trying to get rich quick.
For sure. Okay.
What we have is crawl, walk, run, and now scales up 5 years because we have systems in place. And that's exactly what we're offering people. And that's why we're doing these joint venture partnerships, and we're bringing other people to the fold, because we get it. And we're trying to disseminate and distill that down to you, but it ain't for everybody. It's like the Marines say, you know, we get more done before people get up in their lifetime, because we have systems in place.
For sure. And again, if you ever read the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, everybody you add to the team, we're all rolling down the same street. So, somebody said I can make 100K driving Ubers. I'm not waiting for the stimulus. Somebody said some states are even cutting summer pandemic EBT for kids, and you think it's going to be a fourth check? Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, anybody who's watching is like, she's not talking about it. There will be no fourth stimulus check. They won't be. They don't have to. They in there now. And right now, when I told you about getting into tech this past year, honey, if you're not trying to get in tech in the next 6 months, I'm praying for you. You know why? Because India's on block. We can't get anybody immigration from India for about a year. But in 6 months, when they start opening it back up to come from India, it's a wrap. They've already said, the White House already said they are allotting 500,000 positions, HB1 visas.
Yep.
From India.
Yep.
With chain migration.
Yep.
With your vice president is part Indian.
Yeah. He is Indian.
It's a wrap.
That's her tribe.
Yeah.
That was the first thing they signed in was stuff for HB1.
Somebody said, DJ, you snatching edges tonight.
You know, I'm just keeping $100,000 with you. Y'all all excited about this stupid federal Juneteenth clown stuff. That all it's gonna do is a commercial to actually get money out of your pocket. You ought to be going out there, knocking down blocks one step at a time, and look up before you know it. 5 years goes like that, ladies and gentlemen.
True, honey.
Just like that. 5 years. Boom. If you just invested in one house a year, in 5 years, $800. That's $4,000. That's $48,000. That's more than the average median household income for one individual. And you're going to get about 100 different tax write-offs. My goodness. And God forbid you actually had the right corporate structure, the right trust set up, and you lowered yourself into a lower tax bracket. Let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, the estate death tax laws are changing in 2026. That you need to be maximizing them right now. And if you are in the professional middle class, you're going to be paying alternative middle income taxes up the wazoo, thanks to Uncle Biden. So
I'm gonna finish them out. I'm gonna finish some of this out. Many people are in financial trouble. The next 3 years are gonna be very scary. You know, here's the thing: it's gonna be the best of times and the worst of times. People who are prepared, people who are ready to purchase, people who are ready to invest, they're gonna be having a blast. People that ain't prepared, woo.
Let me tell you something, sister. What's her name? The sister.
Oh, I'm
sorry. Winners only focus on the positive and what they can accomplish. You need to stop making yourself psychologically inferior to anything. You understand? You hear what I'm saying? So I only think about what I can accomplish. And see, here's the problem with the educational system. The educational system teaches you got to be perfect 9 out of 10 times, get an A. But that's not how entrepreneurship works. Entrepreneurship is fail, learn, apply, grow. I'm going to say that again. Fail, learn, apply, grow. And then we look at opportunities that other people can't see, and we focus on that. I don't let that get into my brain what something can happen or what's going on negatively in the economy. Because guess what? When I had that $60,000 worth of debt, that 525 credit score. If I'd have been sitting up here hemming and hawing, worrying about what the government is and not doing, I'd still be in that 1-bedroom apartment, broke, and have a repoed 92 Chevrolet Geo Tracker in Chicago and wouldn't have what I have. Because I don't think like that. So y'all need to stop thinking like that. Think about what you can do to get ahead and how can you get access and how you can invest in yourself and get linked up with the Classy Climb and roll to the hole with Ericka. Get on and attend her tour and come get nuggets from the real professionals. And then you'll be so busy working on your business, you won't even give a rip or even know what's going on in the world.
Listen, we got a freaking notebook we put together so that when you come to the tour, you can flip through the notebook and work on what we're talking about while you're there.
Check it out. K Business Podcast. You need to get with Geeky Niche. She's got the best system called Ungated. She came through Ericka's program and she's killing it. She is a genius. Send us your information. And I had 3 people trying to do AWS themselves, was going through the stuff, and then they got snagged up because they couldn't get ungated and way to buy product. She showed me in 1 hour, Ericka, how to get ungated and get on track to make $3,000 to $5,000 a month. And I was like, oh, snap. I'm in it. V Lee, the link don't work. Try it again.
I got the link from Nick, so let me know if we need to fix it. Let me see.
Yeah, let me see. Let me see where. Let me click on it. See if it works. No, it works. I just clicked on it. Try it again. TNTINURUL.com/DJ the Money Coach CFO.
I am. I'm doing a little one.
Yeah, look. There it is right there. Here it is. There it is right there. It works. I just clicked on it. Can y'all see that? So I don't know what you did, V Lee. Try it again. If you can't get it, email Nick at DJ the Money Coach, but it works what Ericka has right now.
Okay, let me put it this way. I put a different link in there. I put the same link in. I just put my own little Bentley on it. Try this one, y'all.
Yep. Matter of fact, it works because we just got a couple people just purchased. Let me see. Let me call them out. Salute. Get some shout outs to the people. And when it syncs like this, because I got the buzz comes through. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, stop thinking about what can happen for your life. Yeah, we got Kamikaze, we got DT just purchased. I don't know what the Kamikaze and the DT initials, but these people just purchased. It looks like Kelly Smith, congratulations, just purchased. That's 3 right there that just came through. We appreciate you guys patronizing the educational platform that we provide for you. And another thing that we do is we actually, double guarantee if you walk through our program, 4 things you got to be able to do to be successful in life. Number 1, you got to have discipline. Number 2, you got to have accountability. Number 3, you got to plug into the system like Classy Climb or the 7 Spheres of Money. And then this dirty little word, you got to put the work in. You got to put the work in. Because what I've accomplished and what Ericka's accomplished, this didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
I started my first business officially in 1996. 1996. I started my second business in 2000. My third business in 2002. My bill pay business, 2007. My financial planning business, 2006. I've started 12 businesses. 8 have failed and 4 have done 7 figures. You know what I'm saying? Tara Jones said, I'm preaching.
The collection plate is the Cash App. she said DC Johnson said, I'm listening as I sit in my car about to drive for Uber. DC Johnson, you
DC,
get motivated.
No dispersion. If that's the only way you can make money, I'm all for you making money. I'm all for you for making money. No doubt. No doubt. We always got to work our way up. Yeah, you need to send in. So yeah, AE, yep. Go ahead and get on the calendar. Get on my calendar on the schedule. Plug your time in. And then hey, if you're in Chicago, hit us up. Nick and I will be there. We're gonna be partying.
And we'll be back. Listen, Texas and Chicago, we've heard your cries in the emails. We hear you. There will be a Texas event, but it'll be later this year. We'll have more details later. And we will have a Chicago event, not this week per se for me, the one coming up. But we're trying to get it booked in. I sent some information over to Nick and them. I sent some information to some other Chicago folks. It's going to be a more chill, not a big hotel, but just a more chill, under 120 people. So if you can get in, get in. But if not, see you when I see you.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, we're excited, and I'm actually officially on vacation. My vacation started on the 21st, but I've been serving the people. I have not been so excited about serving people who actually need our help in a long time, and I'm excited to be able to help everybody. I don't care what color you are, what creed you are, but I'm so even more excited about helping people that look like us. And sometimes people don't appreciate that you help them because they take it for granted. So you're right. I want to thank you, Ericka, for all that you're doing for the people. I want to thank you for what you're doing for our people and the organizations, and for your unselfishness, because that's a rarity. You know what? We having a problem in society today where everybody's competing against each other versus doing collaborative relationships. And I don't know why that is. Well, I do know why it is. It's a long track record of 400 years, but you know what's in the past? View mirrors in the past. Let's work on the present.
For sure.
That's what we need to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you get anything out of this, work on your plan, mind your own business, get your grind on, put a system in place, and stop concerning yourself about white noise that has nothing to do with you. And matter of fact, here's another tip. You're going to be sitting up here trying to impress people that don't like you, that you don't even like, to prove that you're somebody that they don't even care about.
Don't do it to yourself.
My old mentor said, if you know better and you know better, you know better.
I like it. Okay, you guys. So we're going to wrap it up here. We put the links in the chat. B. Lee said, are you working with any income level?
Any income level,
your business? Yes.
Typically working class from $35,000 personal income up to $250,000. That's where I am the best at. That is my niche. Okay. Working class individual makes $35,000, household income up to $250,000. And the reason why we do that, ladies and gentlemen, is because at $35,000, nobody's gonna work with.
This is a testimonial.
Oops. Hey, you guys, and we're gonna roll it out with testimonials from DJ the Money Coach's office, because I think you guys should see this today. Someone said we're speaking a word.
Money Coach. First of all, I got one of the best packages that you had, so that was A1. I love the team. They have really come through. You were amazing as a coach. Every week you showed up on time. Every single week. And trust me, I've been in a lot of courses, a lot of classes, spent a lot of money. And unfortunately, some people don't do what they say that they're going to do as a coach. It's not that I didn't know about some of the things, but the main parts that I would say were different for me is learning about how to actually save the right amount of money for an emergency savings, learning about tax savings, and even how to structure your business more properly so that you can reap the benefits of the taxes and not be taxed so much.
Hello everybody, my name is Terry. I recently just linked up with DJ the Money Coach, and he's been very helpful, gave me a lot of information, told me how I could turn my personal credit into business credit, also showed me how I could pay for a personal vehicle through my business and corporation setup, and also set me up with Melvin to help me actually put together a will, a power of attorney, a Roth IRA. And I'm only 25, so I'm just looking for the future, and these guys are setting me up, building my foundation strong. And I just wanted to show my appreciation and say you guys should be next. Call DJ. He's definitely there to help.
I definitely would highly recommend DJ the Money Coach. He's very personable. He's actually real. He actually does meet with his clients. I'm happy for that. And he actually has a team that he works with that that are actually real. They do call people, so they will call you. So that's kind of why I want to rock with DJ the Money Coach.
Hello, my name is George Paisley, and I just finished my first initial consultation with DJ the Money Coach. And I have to say, it was very enlightening. I enjoyed it. He hit me to some game. In the first 2 minutes, he told me about a way I could save taxes on next year. So even if I didn't work with him, I left away with that knowledge. To anyone else out there thinking about it, at the very least, take the time, have a talk with him, and let him show you how he can help you live that pom-pom lifestyle.
Since meeting you, I have had the pleasure of meeting other people among your team who have given me the knowledge to be able to take my business to the next level. So I'm definitely looking forward to a better year from here on out. So thank you very much for placing those people in my path.
DJ the Money Coach has been helping me with my financial planning. Melvin Hobson has been helping me with family planning, learning how to structure generational wealth. And I've been working with James Lane on taxes and on how to structure my business. So I'm really excited. This is a group of people, man, I really believe that's going to be able to help the Black community. And they're all doing this while I'm actually working over the road. So if you get the opportunity, get down with DJ the Money Coach and change your life.
The team, the DJ TMC team, it created a financial plan for me, created a policy wherein I can create wealth for my great-granddaughter, who's 7 years old now. And because I didn't have these documents in place, I'm getting assistance with my will, power of attorney, and all of the documents that you would need to ensure that your policy, that your estate will be executed as you desire it to be done. I strongly recommend the DJ TMC team.
You're looking at a satisfied customer. If you're like me and you have had problems with credit, you don't know enough about how to manage credit, you don't have enough money to invest in the stock market or set aside for retirement, then I encourage you to give DJ the Money Coach and his team a call. He has helped me, and I'm sure he'll help you. Shout out to Ericka Williams for having DJ.
Oh, thank you.
Stop wishing better, start doing better, and move forward with somebody that has not only the knowledge, the skills, the talent, and the team to help you go where you want to go. I'll get more than my money's worth. If I can spend a few grand, several grand on a piece of luggage, I could spend a little bit to get a lot of it in the long run. So if you're thinking about doing better, stop thinking, start doing, and definitely get down with the pom-pom lifestyle.
Hello. My name's Arthur Danner. Currently working over here contracting in Iraq. So scrolling on YouTube right there and saw Ericka and DJ the Money Coach, talking and everything. So we decided to sign on with them, with him and his team, to help take our business as well as ourselves, to another level. So with DJ and his team, I know, they can make that happen.
Okay, I think that's it.
Man.
All right, DJ, thank you for coming on today. People said, what's the person you mentioned in training?
Yeah,
and then we're gonna let you go.
At Geeky Niche, Geeky GeekyNesh, at Geeky Niche, and you can just email Nick at djthemoneycoach.com. We actually are doing an upcoming webinar with Geeky Niche for her ungated program. She actually is now doing collaborative training for our members. But you can at Geeky Niche, at GeekyNesh. Tell them DJ the Money Coach sent you, and you'll get a complimentary consultation, and then we'll plug you into the webinar. And like always, you know how we like to end the show? Every time we come on your platform, Ericka, we can only do it one way, and only one way we know. Thank you for allowing us to be on your program. Thank everybody. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there as well. And may you have a blessed summer. And at the end of the day, we want you to have a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. And we want you to come join us on the beaches of the World Club, because your beach doesn't have to be water or sand, but it's where you find your tranquility and your peace of mind to be 100% you, not a second-rate copy of somebody else. I'm DJ the Money Coach. If you're in Chicago over the 4th of July holiday, hit me up. Come party with us. Let's get some Tolero and have a good time responsibly. And then I'll see you next time on tour with Ericka and our great partner. And everybody give Ericka her flowers while she's here because she's amazing in the classy climb. And she is the epitome of what I call him. And that's humility, integrity, and that's an upside down W for woman. Appreciate you, Ericka.
Thank you. All right, you guys. See you guys later.